Okay, so hopefully y'all have gotten this figured out. So this will be part one. We were about to start talking about stage one, which is infancy, of Erik Erikson's theory. And so Erik Erikson believed that this goes age 0 to 1. So from the time of birth until a year old, and the crisis that we as humans are in is trust versus mistrust. So during the first year, babies depend on their parents for food, warmth, affection. They depend on someone for everything. They need to be able to blindly trust that they will receive these things from their parents or their caregivers. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. See if this will work right quick. Well, I might be wasting precious seconds. Anyway, so they cry, right? I mean, babies, the way that they communicate is that they cry. So they cry if they're hungry, they cry if they're thirsty, they cry. Oops, hold on, that's not what we want. Sorry. All right, they cry whatever it is that they're looking for. They'll cry if they. There we go. So that hopefully they get it. And when they cry and we respond, then they learn that they can trust their parents or their caregivers. And so the positive outcome is that their needs are met and they develop a secure attachment to their parents and they learn to trust their environment in general. The negative outcome is if their needs are not met. Now, this is not about, letting a baby cry it out or something like that as far as, sleeping through the night or things like that. But it is if they cry and they don't, and no one responds, then they learn to mistrust people. They mistrust the environment. They mistrust even themselves. There are some major psychological disorders and trust issues that psychiatrists and psychologists will actually take all the way back to this infancy age. And it's very hard to overcome this if they don't meet this first stage, if they don't overcome this crisis of trust versus mistrust. So that is infancy 0 to 1. So here's a picture. I'm hungry. Mom gives me a bottle, or mom feeds me. I'm wet. I get changed. Those things. All right. Stage 2. Now, this doesn't mean, let me go back to this real quick. This doesn't mean that, if they wear a dirty diaper for 2 hours or 4 hours or even all night at one point that, that they're going to have psychological dysfunction one day and it's just might as well throw in the towel. No, that's not what that means. But if their needs are not met consistently, then they will have mistrust. All right, so stage 2, this is the toddler age, or age 1 to 3. So the crisis here is autonomy versus doubt or shame. Sometimes you'll see it in different textbooks as autonomy versus doubt or autonomy versus shame. And autonomy means self, auto means self. So, they're looking to be able to depend on themselves. If you ever heard a toddler say, me do it, or they'll say mine, everything is about them. And this is really where we are becoming our own person. A toddler is kind of separating themselves from their parents. There are a lot of psychologists that say that children don't even know that they're a separate organism from their mother until they're around 18 months of age. So they're learning to walk, they're learning to talk, they're learning to be potty trained, and that's the biggie there, is being able to control bowel and bladder. Do some things on their own within reason. They start having self-confidence and self-control is developing during this stage. So the positive outcome here is that the parents encourage the child to explore within limits, and the toddler learns self-confidence and they become to be autonomous. Okay, they're starting to realize they can do some things on their own. The negative outcome is if the parents are overprotective or they're disapproving of the toddler's acts of independence, then they start to feel ashamed and start to think that maybe that behavior is not normal, and they can even start to doubt their abilities. So this is a big, major stage here really do need to be potty trained by age 4 for sure, or sometimes they can have some issues. Now, obviously, if they have a medical condition where they're not ever going to be able to be potty trained, then this throws a wrench into this arena, right? I mean, they're not going to necessarily be able to complete this stage. So, you know, there are adults that have different health conditions that they have to wear diapers. So you can see how that could bring about doubt or shame about oneself, and learning to control those things within reason, if they have some type of paralysis or something. But just keeping that in mind for a patient. All right, I can blow out my own birthday candles. Me do it. You'll hear children say that a lot. All right, stage 3, this is initiative versus guilt. This is age 3 to 5. Now, I don't think these are in the notes. This is just an extra link that you can click on, but I do want to go over it with you. So it's important that you watch this part of the video. So initiative versus guilt, so age 3 to 5. This is also coincides with our preschool age child. So the child's found a new power from increased motor skills, and they are learning to interact socially with people around them. So they're actually starting to play with each other. Before this, they'll do kind of isolated play, but after this, they actually begin to play with other children. So the positive outcome is that the parents encourage the child, but they're consistent with discipline, and the child learns to accept without guilt that some behaviors are not acceptable. But at the same time, they don't feel shame about using their imagination. So this is a big, imagination. This is a magic stage. So it's important for the child to be able to use their imagination, but also, understand that lying is not okay. So there's a difference about lying, saying, hey, there's a dinosaur in the backyard and we were playing and he's pink and he's got blue polka dots. I mean, there's a difference in that, and a parent should not shame a child for that, as opposed to saying, no, I didn't take the cookie out of that cookie jar. I mean, yes, that would be a lie if the child did take it, and of course they probably did. The negative outcome is if parents are not encouraging, the child may begin to develop guilt, and they may start to believe that being independent is wrong, and that is not what you want, because as we grow up, the goal is to leave. The goal is to leave the nest and become a independent person on your own. So we don't want that negative outcome right there. So, Erickson would say that people that live with their parents until they're 40, that they got stuck somewhere in this initiative versus guilt, or he could relate it back to there. Whether that's true or not, it's a theory. All right, need to see how much time I have. Oh, okay, got about 6 minutes before we need to stop this one. All right, so my sister and I playing creatively together. All right, so stage 4, this is age, oops, let me make it big again. All right, age 6 through 11. So this is our school age child. All right, so this is elementary school. Hopefully you guys can still remember something from elementary school. So Erickson says that the crisis here is industry versus inferiority. So school is very important. So kids that are in this stage right now, I'm not saying they're going to get stuck in it, but we are going to, as a society right now, with everybody being kind of out of sorts, we could start to have some issues. But this is going to be a short term, we hope and pray, but it correlates very well to what happens in a healthcare concern. So for a school-age child, age 6 to 11, that is maybe taken out of school for a healthcare concern, it's very important for us to recognize that they are going to be dealing with some industry versus inferiority. If their friends are learning how to do their multiplication tables and they're having chemo treatments for pediatric cancer, and then they come back and they don't know their multiplication tables, then that plays on this crisis here. Okay, so that's important to recognize, especially as a healthcare provider. So they're learning that work is worthwhile. The positive outcome is that children discover pleasure in being productive and seeking success. They learn that industry, which is working hard and having a sense of accomplishment from work. My mom was a second grade teacher for the majority of her career, and she didn't really like being a first grade teacher because, they actually have to teach those kids how to read. And my mom taught us how to read, my children, my brother's children. She taught thousands of children how to read, but she really enjoyed forming that and helping them really get those reading skills, because that helped them. She did know this. I mean, she had to learn it in elementary education, but that helped them feel industrious instead of inferior. You can probably remember when you were younger how the teacher might have put you in reading groups if you were able to figure that out, that maybe you were in the lower reading group or maybe someone was in the higher reading group. Teachers try to cover that stuff up, and you can hear my children yelling, but a lot of times they will, sometimes kids that know they're in that lower reading group, they'll have some feelings of inferiority. And so that would be a negative outcome, and that doesn't mean the end all. It just, they're going to have to come through that. They're going to have to get over that, but some of that comes in the next stage. All right, so working hard to become a ballerina. It doesn't have to be school. Maybe you're not good in school, but maybe you're good in something else. So, and here's David. All right, David. Thank you, buddy. All right, so maybe you're good at dance, or maybe you're good at sports, or it's just finding that niche. And sometimes people don't find that niche in that school-age child. Sometimes it's not until high school until they find that niche. Maybe you finally found your niche being in health science. So, all right, the stage 5, this is 12 to 18. So this is you guys. Y'all are all in this stage, and I don't want to go over on time here. All right, so I'm going to keep it small so I don't go over on time. But the task during this stage is to form a sense of self, okay? And so before the whole, I'm trying to think of how to say this politically correct, but before there were transgender, and before people kind of experimented with their gender, Erikson already said that age 12 to 18 was the time of where we would go through an identity versus identity confusion. And so that is really what is happening with a lot of people that feel like they may or may not be transgender, is they're in this stage and they're trying to come up with their identity or their sense of self, okay? And so the positive outcome is that teens discover who they are through exploration of the world and people in it. They discover their own beliefs, their goals, and this is called their identity. So it's okay to be Joe and wear pink. It's okay to be Jill and play sports. That's always been that way. There have always been people who explored. You've heard the phrase tomboy. So that none of those things are negative. And what that has to do with gender, Erikson doesn't necessarily address, but that is kind of where this comes from, is that age 12 to 18, we are supposed to be forming our sense of self, our own beliefs and our goals. If they don't build a sense of themselves, then they'll suffer identity confusion, and they continue to move through life without any understanding of who they are or where they want to go. And you have probably met people like this, that they just are not really sure, and just whatever everybody else is doing, they'll fall in with the crowd. And so while that is normal in teenagehood, to kind of go with the flow and go with the crowd, it's not good for the adult life because it causes a lot of confusion. They don't really know who they are. You don't want to get to midlife and be 42 and not really know who you are. That's where a midlife crisis comes in. So I'm going to pause right here and post this video, and then go to the part 2. This will be part 1.